with the set winding down, I thought this would be a great time to jump in game with one of the players from whom it is pretty much a tradition to approach the game with a little bit more fun aspect towards the end of the set. As such, with Robin Songs here, we're going to be jumping in a game that I personally never got to see this set. It will become apparent on the augment selection, and let's see how he manages to navigate this spot and how the game evolves. Quickly squeezing in here with an announcement. I have updated my utility sheet also with the team-wide buffs. As usual, it's going to be available in the link down below, and the fastest way to get it is from my X. And as a side note, I have went through all the units and made some notes on their abilities and everything. However, this is something that I will be probably pushing out as the set goes out, as we still had some placeholder values, and we want to nail down the itemization. This is what, in my opinion, is the most important thing, as you can get feel for the abilities, but knowing how to navigate your game is the most important part. We are playing on the Fountain and in an Echo and Soraka God game, starting in an upgraded 1 cost with the Rek'Sai. Immediate thought obviously to be playing around the Primordians as an econ source, but unfortunately we do not have any of those. We are holding on to a Poppy, as Poppy Hero Augment is good, and we have that Velvet, so if we find the Rek'Sai, it's a possibility for ourselves. Quickly otherwise analyzing our spot, our 2 components start more leaning towards gold, so holding on to these extra units definitely would want to hold on to this Mordekaiser in my opinion here. But also a Pyke pair, you know, it's a fun play. Pyke, Gwen, a line that I've made a video on about, and some players have still managed to find success. With the slam of Adaptive Helm, leading into our augment selection, we have the possibility to be choosing between a booster pack, which is generic econ option we may consider, solo plate. It's great for your Jax lines, great for your Mighty Mechs, anything that can heavily capitalize on this solo front line. Also the Leona line, the Arbiter, Leona, Diana reroll comp can utilize this extremely well. But the fun aspect, time stream. What a better way to time stream ourselves into the next set. This augment is still underpowered. It did receive an indirect buff of having Shen added to it. However, we will see how much he gains actual health and attack speed in the end. And I believe it's just... yeah, it's not worth it, let's be real. They never touched the augment in my opinion. Bomba Gragas, we have the Synergic implant, but we only have a half of Hodge, we do not have the half of JG. You definitely want a glove for it to work out. Otherwise the opener would have been fine with some brawlers right there. You can still utilize if you hit Primordians for a little bit of extra econ generation. And heavy is the crown, your jinxes, some of the units that can utilize it quite decently, but we're going to be slamming for tempo this adaptive helm nonetheless, and I believe that our plan is right now to reroll Ezreal, Milio, and Pantheon, and Milio can utilize the adaptive helm quite well, decent slam for any of your brawlers, and also with Pantheon being replicated, I believe it should be a slightly bit better. We're going to be immediately attacking in the 3 timebreaker for extra econ generation. We lost that fight, so we are fine to be playing for a loss streak, but it looks like there are going to be a couple of players contesting that loss streak, which is not end of the world, particularly for ourselves, but if we can grief them, we definitely can reduce the cap of this lobby, and we're going to be doing that. And how we're going to be pairing this, like, we're tossing in 5 timebreaker, fair enough. Q into 3 Primordial, and also with upgraded Rek'Sai, the birthday reunion, the player is holding on to a Kali pair, which is the non-meta, and hasn't went for that level 5 onto the 2-1 after the 2-1 and 2-2, right? This is the general equation. Even with the only now redeeming extra gold, that is how you're capitalizing your tempo. Attacking in Cho'Gath, as we obviously want some synergy with the brawlers right there for our front line. It's a little tricky also how the trade works out here, right? You could talk in Maokai and then have Fate Weaver with Fred Caitlyn for the Milio, but this just a trade whip I feel like doesn't exactly work out unless I'm missing something, because if you also wanted the replicator, you are a little bit stuck with your options. For ourselves, Better Together is a fine spot for our loss streak. Go 4 gold with delayed value. Is it something that we can hit? I mean, if you're going to be playing for a win out with this augment, maybe you just have to take gambles, and he's going to be going with the 4 cost. That's fine. It aligns with our spike timing, so that is something we may consider. And, well, I suppose the generic way you could obviously, yes, play this into a Lulu reroll, which is not bad on Fountain at all. This is the way to play it. You have that Milio and Pantheon chase that 3-star anyhow, and then you can keep around, well, if you want to keep Fate Weaver, you do not want to be playing around Talon, but you still want to have Jax, because Fate Weaver is Twisted Fate, right? But the other variations where you play around Riven would then opt to drop the Twisted Fate for the keeping Talon and then playing around that. This is not the reason why this augment hasn't had going for it, but let's see the miracles happen by the Miracle Man himself. We are going for our 5 loss streak here, still trying to outposition with this two tanky Samira at the end of the set. Someone's just, you know, trying to rob enough some LP before he starts to decay. Spoiler alert, he afterwards let Chat pick his augments and he ran it down himself, so the donation was made, and whoever is chasing that challenger, best of luck still out there. Now we have a question. We have stacked these rerolls, but we haven't really stacked up our Ezreal. Are we going to be rolling on 4 too? Because upgrading Pantheon, we have a decent choice, but we do not really have the Ezreal items right now. We have that Milio too, and Ezreal is someone you want to be snowballing, right? This is why it works so great in Cho'Gath. You have something like Adaptive Helm or a Protector as well, ideally, to stack that Cho'Gath and then be able to stack up the Ezreal. But we picked up a Xayah for a sniper, and also, we should note if Timestreamed really scales from the free rerolls. He doesn't seem to be rolling just yet, so let's see how that works out. Primordian, Challenger Emblem, that player is locking in that Jinx reroll right there. So Akali, as usual at the moment, is going to be million way contested. If you're not going to be hopping in PB, coming for me tomorrow midnight, for other parts of board towards the east, Wednesday morning for parts in the west, Tuesday late afternoon. Our last augment selection right now is going to be between Exiles, which hasn't seen that much light of play this set, potential wraps, and the value is a little bit low. Boxing Lessons, if we were pushing levels, this would gain more value. Great in your Darkstar comps where you can double dip on this HP. Pandora's items though, this is low item game. It seems we have 5 components. Okay, this is about fine, but maybe we are looking to fix our items from them, and just extra component is fine. At silver tier is the best, where I like this augment to be picked apart from 2-1 to accelerate my item slams. Group Hug, fine value if we can get there. Still generically strong combat option at silver. Corrosion, we do not have a source of either, and we could utilize both, but if we make that ribbon later AP, we have the open bow for a Void Stab perhaps. It's a tricky choice in my opinion. Any direction is fine, I believe. Since we are rerolling, we would want to maybe angle out towards items more, because we're going to have 3 stars and them not going to do much without items. He's going to doing so. He's going to roll to level 5, which if we were rolling for Milio and Pantheon, we would better do on 6, and seems to be going with the Nova package right there, holding on to the Corki on the bench for later scale parts. I'm still wondering if you... Well, I mean, we could stabilize our board here, but we could have also just went for level 6 here, and it's completely fine to be dropping down to even 30 gold here if you want to be strongly upgrading our board. At least the Timebreaker is going to rebound our recon. Reason being, we do not have items for this Ezreal, we do not have stacks for this Ezreal, and if we are capping around Shen, this is, I believe, the nicest way we can fit together, you know. Caitlyn, Maokai, Shen, Aatrox have the Shred and Sunder sorted out there as well, and then capping around 5 Nova, which is the little bit of a meta thing to do right now, but you know, Nova is just a flexible trait, has been throughout the set and has provided immense value throughout the set as well. You have to carry around that Aatrox, but that's fine, and I mean, other Bastions could be also tossed in. Soraka's Embrace, please never click this thing. The some shitter is gonna die and take that shield. You do not want it. 2 5-cost champions gives us the possibility of high roll that Shen, and I'm waiting my high roll right now. We have 6 Milios on level 5, might consider that a high roll, but we had some banked up free rolls. We had great econ going in. Unfortunately, lost that fight, so not going to be exactly sticking to the win streak. Quick math right here, 0.3 attack speed. We would have 15 free rolls. 15 rerolls. It seems that we might have maybe counted the free rerolls. I am not exactly sure, but we are able to pick up a Riven pair, and now we're rolling on level 6. So it seems that we opted to simply push the levels now. This belt, I suppose we are trying to angle Nashers, but we made that red buff right there just for item times for tempo, which is fine to do so in such a spot. We had to sacrifice some of our item quality to try to tempo. A little counterintuitive with a Spirit Visage Slam, Adaptive Helm Slam at the earliest part of the game, but we were not sure if we're going to be loose streaking, and we are carrying this around the Aatrox, so it seems like his plan is also to be going there. But another wise way, obviously, is this Rammus and Corki package that you can be going for. Rammus, Corki, and then just toss in a third Meeple unit, which is going to synergize. I mean, you can toss Gnarn, right? That's a package. That is one of the nicer packages to actually fit in together, tying back to how Gnar reroll is going to be played. And I believe next patch Gnar is a brawler as well. I'm not sure why. 2 tanky player here, going for those 100 anima cash out, still a great value you can be chasing. If you can see, sometimes you can double loss. Nice smile by Robin right there. Checking the haircut as well, looking fly. But you can just simply gain some free value from those rerolls. So, sorry, from some great value from the 100 anima cash outs. If you are unable to string together a big loss, because 300 is not that appealing and 400 is insta win, but 400 is hard to chase, obviously. And yeah, so we are going to be probably looking like a Bramble West and Stoneplate. Oh, right, Pandora's items. Well, it worked out. We got the death cap, and we can slam a Spear of Shojin, and then just try to look for a Pantheon item, I suppose. Growl deep here, because this is going to be our spike window right here, so going to be slamming with the Spear of Trojan. Generally want to be hitting these 2-cost rerolls around 4-1, 4-2 to be up on pace with all the other fast 8 players. This should be a free win for ourselves against the backline blueprint player. And now we're just going to utilize this time breaker to push levels. And the Shen from the sky comes in. Unfortunately, we saw that Aatrox. And our last augment selection here, we could be just... Well, we have the AP item sorted out, so Staffsmith otherwise an immense value in the gold augment, but I'm not too sure. Clockwork Cell, either too much synergy. We already have immense amount of attack speed for Time Breaker, plus even more attack speed from Timestreamed, which is not the reason. This augment kind of contradicts together itself with the trait itself. Arcane Victory, though, it's fine for us to stall as a combat augment right now. We would ideally want to be looking for something that allows us to complete this 3-item Pantheon as soon as possible. Tons of stats, generic combat. May the Force be with you. If you want a Jhin, great. Otherwise, not so much. We could utilize staffs to maybe try to improve our item quality and just maybe drop the just reroll these extra items. And I believe Morello's here is just simply going to be better than the red buff, right? That's a fine read as well. Yeah, Shen loves attack speed, red buff, and he's a fine spreader, and this probably works out better. Great fundamental recognition right there, and we can reinforce that Morello's, which for Milio would be better, but for Shen, the red buff probably is going to be a little bit better because he can just utilize so much of the attack speed, and we were able to complete the 3rd item on Pantheon, and works out greatly for ourselves. Seems that we are sticking to this Nova package right now, and going to just level 4 the Gwen right there. It's like looking at a trade rate, I just see I would want to toss in Rust right here, but it is what it is. We're holding on to this Jhin as well, as we are only a single copy away from the Ezreal tree, which can find some of its value if we are able to get there. Definitely better than the single star Riven, right? Still not that much. We were hit on the bout pace and well, maybe a little bit faster than on average, therefore the time stream hasn't gained that much value for ourselves. 5-cost shop. I mean, we have aligned ourselves at Echo, so we're going to have a 3rd tank item most likely coming in, or at least a 3rd item for Shen. So the belt maybe is a little bit less appealing, and 5-cost shop gives us a potential for a high roll. So yeah, let's just wing it. Pick up a chain right there, and then yeah, we can just toss the... Well, on fighter it's not as strong. I believe Shen is classified as a fighter, but this should be completely fine. And the Milio is an immense carry that we can see, like for example in the Corki line, a lot of players have played around Milio too as their secondary carry to Corki in stage 4, and he has done a great amount of damage. You definitely should not be slept on. It's even something that K3 Soju himself played around and tanked some random ladder, as he forced them a gardener on the ladder for showing him the tech, but it's something that I believe Robin was one of the first to truly bring into the TPC, just because how much he played around the line. Therefore, this Milio unit should definitely not be slept on as a possibility if you're able to itemize him, especially as strongly as this. And for now, we're just going to be sitting here. I believe there's nothing much we can do. We are positioning is... He's probably too lazy. He's well, too active talking with his chat to be considering have that Rust lined up for our next in if we are pushing levels and do not find a better slot in. And it seems that this Pantheon is performing quite well even without Replicator as a proto-digital tank, but these, yeah. Radiant Rascal's Gloves on the Blitzcrank on level 8 plus Ornn 3 is just a little bit too much for us to deal with right now. And we shouldn't have held on to our goal just a little bit. We opted to go for aggressive level right there. And I don't think Corki is truly contested in this lobby. I'm just simply saying that we are going to be having this, I believe, 5-cost shop incoming for ourselves. So, you know, just having that raw gold to buy it, because now we might have to sell something. And yeah, for this purpose, so he realized, okay, we're going to be giving up on the Israel. That's fine, but this is where our high roll comes in. We have that Shen, opted to slam the Protector's Vow and Archangels, and valuing the extra cast from the Shen to just get maybe that anti-heal a little bit faster out, and then rerolling this Archangels, which has generally been a little bit of a weaker item. We will, regarding the next set, we'll have to look out how potential item changes are going live. I have started watching Trixie's rundown of the PB, and I don't think he touches up on items exactly just yet. Obviously, with the 4-week cycle, all values are subject to change. We have potential to improve our itemization here. Yes, the Spirit Visage should provide us some durability and simply be a little bit better than the Adaptive Helm onto the Pantheon, particularly because he's our solo frontliner and we have a large chunk of HP. We have some resistances, so obviously you want to have a nice stat spread, unless a unit is busted in some form of a scaling, than just having the stat spread. And we are closing in at the top 4 in a very close lobby right now. Have opted to, yeah, we gave up on the Riven actually as well, and we are playing around this 3 Nova, so we have that Shred and Sunder sorted out for ourselves. Could just be opting to push more levels for Nova, but 5 Nova 10, I don't know. Should be, yeah, the Riven should be better than the Ezreal, and we can maybe looking for a Rogue. Ras simply provides more nice values and resistances, and even more attack speed, even though it's overlapping on stacks, is going to help the Shen immensely. But this million damage is just insane with this double death cap, true carry and star of this comp, with the Shen being able to provide a little bit more stall. So now let's see, are we going to looking to improve our itemization? Getting the Maokai to cast a little bit earlier is also fine, but just getting GS here, I believe, yeah, getting GS, getting some true secondary carry power into the Shen is going to be good value. And we're still opting to dig here. Are we digging for Riven 2, I believe? Because we have to ask ourselves, are we fine to sack? And we are fine to take one loss, but what does rolling achieve for us here? How does it really improve our strength right now? Because you do not want to be dropping 1 life, especially when there's someone with like extremely potential high cap with the too tanky aboard. Maybe he was chasing the Kindred? No, we have passed on so many of them as well. I mean, I guess maximizing time stream value, maybe. Maybe that case, and we have the potential for that Riven 2 and Ras 2 and Aatrox 2. Maybe that's a possibility, just simply valuing that those upgrades can't swing a fight for us. But the Shen has now made it all the way to the backline. Immense ult right there. And you can see whenever he gets a great ult off, he is in business, and that secures ourselves a top 4. And with a strong Primordian setup taken out right there, yeah, with 20% attack speed. 470 HP is quite nice. 20% attack speed for a trade that already gives you attack speed, I am not too fond of. If we didn't have any attack speed, right, then this 20% attack speed would be immense value, because whenever you have a build that doesn't truly have that much attack speed in it, the first breakpoints are more valuable, get your cast faster and have some value in there. But when you have so much attack speed, the extra 20% has diminishing returns. Same as with stacking any kind of stats. Improve our optimization for the Pantheon, as he's our frontliner. Do not really need the durability, which is fine for Maokai to be our secondary tank right now. And this Milio is going to go at the back, and we are going to be taking out this Fast 9 board in a very close fight right there. Couple of nice improvements, the Shen being able to dish out the supporting damage necessary to take out these tanks. Just going to be continuing rolling for our time stream value right there, facing the 2 tanky player, which is going to be the true shot for ourselves to see how we are performing against here. They go for a last second positioning swap. We are going to have to face this Horn, but maybe we're able to bounce onto this Blitzcrank and get a reset quite fast. He did seem to knock the Pantheon off, but that didn't seem to be the case. Great Shen ults coming through. The Shen is still alive, able to hold on to the Samira. The last bounce does take out the Samira. This is going to give us a win against our opposite matchup, and it's a double kill. Robin forgot to walk, but he did not expect himself. I believe a fitting game to send us off into the next set. Something that I hadn't seen, and something that truly needed some high roll to work out. But apart from the Shen 2 coming pretty much from the sky for free, solid reroll game, identifying that we are going to gain most value by stacking up extra HP for this Pantheon through Rerolling on level 8 and continuously improving our itemization as we go through the game, going for these potential plays that can make us have the most amount of power funneled in our units, and through that achieving a breakpoint that allowed us to knock out arguably one of the best comps in the meta right now. I would like to thank you for watching, whether you watched throughout all this set or joined just recently. We are swinging into set 18 with more guides, more sheets and more insights aimed at trying to improve both my and your play. I hope to see you all there. Have an amazing PB launch and I wish to see you in the next one. Have a good one.